I've only got about 2 hours of battery on my laptop, so I better plug in. I'm just kidding. Okay, so here we are again. You're stuck with me one more time. Yeah, right. So I was here Monday and did a class Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Did my presentation on Thursday and thought that's it. I'm done for the rest of the month. I can take it easy now. And then this morning, about 9 o'clock, John from MikroTik came to me and said, hey, you really ought to do a presentation on that thing that you did out in the Gulf of Mexico. And I, of course, made all the normal excuses. Well, John, I don't have my pictures with me. Well, we can email those to you. Well, I don't have the right shoes on. I normally like to wear dress shoes when I do a presentation. Well, you know, he said, look around, nobody really cares. And I said, well, I'm not sure if I'm wearing clean underwear. And my mom always said, make sure you wear clean underwear because there could be an accident and you could have to go to the hospital. Did anybody else, your mom, tell you always wear clean underwear? Yeah, I don't understand it either. So. Anyway, I want to talk to you a little bit about an application. So this should be an easy presentation. I can't imagine any really difficult packet mangling questions coming from this presentation, but I hope that this will actually spark you with some ideas of additional ways that you can make money. So we're all about making money, so let's get into it. First of all, I want to define a couple of terms that I use here. First is disaster recovery and business continuity. The last full-time job that I came from, that is what my job was, is disaster recovery and business continuity. And the employer that I worked for had a large facility that was producing a significant amount of revenue from those two topics. So this might be something worth listening to if you're about producing revenue. First is what is business continuity planning? Well, this is my definition, not real technical, but basically BC planning is planning for disaster. And it's predetermining the resources and requirements that your business will need in order to restore the critical functions of your business in the event of an emergency. And then the second part is disaster recovery, and that's what you do after the thing happens. The hurricane comes, the building burns down, the flood comes in and floods your office. So disaster recovery, the process of executing that business continuity plan. Now, why are those important for what I wanted to talk to you about today? Well, on April 20th, 2010, it was very important when the drilling rig Deepwater Horizon, operated by British Petroleum, exploded in the Gulf of Mexico. How many people heard about that? Maybe one or two? Yeah, that's what I thought. It immediately began gushing oil at a very high rate into the Gulf of Mexico, spoiled most of the fishing and the shrimping, and the tourist industry as well. That guy sat out there and gushed oil for about 2 months without anyone making any real progress to stop the problem. And then on June 15th, I was contacted by a guy named David Kendrick, who has a little consulting company called Talladega, and he's a contractor to BJ Services. Well, long story short, BJ had been contracted to come out and kill the well by British Petroleum. And Dave is their telecommunications expert, and so they asked Dave to set up some kind of disaster recovery response for the telecommunications side of the operation. So David called me and said, look, I've got to set up a wireless network. I don't have a big budget to work with because they're really not sure what we're going to need, and so they said just bring as much stuff as you can afford to buy with this budget. And we've got some other challenges we've got to face out there. First of all, there were about 15,000 contractors already on site out in the Gulf of Mexico. A huge number of people, all using 2.4, 5.8, 5.3 canopy gear, all kinds of different wireless gear out there to set up temporary communications. So David went out, he did a quick sweep and found out there basically wasn't any spectrum left, and so we already had our first challenge. In addition, not only did we have to provide network access, but they wanted to do voice over IP and also provide internet access to both the drilling ship and the service boats that were being used out on site. So QoS was going to be a must in order to do the voice over IP. So our solution was to build a wireless network in a box, basically to assemble a number of client boxes, a couple of access points, get it all working on the table, and then package it up and send it out to the boat, and basically have building blocks that they could use to build out the network that they needed. We chose MikroTik, of course, for the size, the performance, and the price point. And we underwent some heavy scrutiny by BJ Services Management. I call it legacy thinking, and that is that if it's not a blue-gray box with Cisco on the outside, then we can't use it in our company because it's not good enough for us. I will say that by the end of the operation, those preconceived notions went away, and they are on board with MikroTik. So here's the approach for the APs. We chose the 433 AHs, and we used 900 megahertz radios because nobody else had thought of using 900 out there. So there was plenty of spectrum available, and so that was the reason for our choice. Secondly, I don't know if you've ever worked in a marine environment, but it's not friendly. It's not friendly to anything made of metal. It's the only place, and I've worked offshore quite a bit, so I know this is true. I've seen stainless steel rust out at sea, okay, and that's not supposed to happen. So it's a harsh environment. Glass tends to survive fairly well, but nothing metallic survives. What we picked was this weatherproof enclosure made by CamFab here in, or actually over in Texas, in Red Rock, Texas. It is constructed of a plated steel and then has a powder coating on the outside. I don't think that they'll live more than maybe a year out at sea, but we just needed something for a temporary basis that could withstand the salt spray as well as rain and that type of thing. For the AP, we also chose a Omni Antenna. This is a 12 dB Omni Antenna made by Comet. I've used these extensively out in my rural 900 megahertz cells and had great performance out of them. On the CPE, we also went with the 433 AHs, primarily because we wanted to reduce the number of components that we're taking out to sea. There is no nearby supplier. When you're out in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, everything either comes in on a boat or a helicopter. So we kept all of the radio boards the same, all of the motherboards the same, and that reduced the number of spares that we had to have on site. For the enclosure, we went with the Arc Wireless integrated enclosure. They seem to seal really well as far as rain is concerned. Fairly small package, easily deployed with the articulating mount. We did not have access to welders and fabrication equipment, so whatever we took, it had to be able to clamp onto something. In this case, we typically just clamped them onto the railing on the outside of the vessel. So here's a network diagram, and I'm sure you really can't read much of it, but I really put this slide in here for Greg Soul because he said that you really didn't know what you were doing if you didn't have a network diagram. So I have no idea what this even goes with. No, I'm kidding. This really does show the different boats we had out on site. The Blue Dolphin over here was the primary vessel where our satellite uplink was located for both internet access and voice over IP. And then the home, whatever you call it, ground station, what do you call that? So my terrestrial station was located in Tomball, Texas, where we were downlinking all this information. And then the drill ship, the Enterprise, is in the upper left-hand box, and then the other support ship, the center line, is over here in the lower left-hand box. So we really did have a network diagram that wasn't written on a cocktail napkin and then photographed with an iPhone. This is just kind of a schematic diagram showing the network architecture. Pretty simplistic. The Omni Antenna on the AP was on the Blue Dolphin, which was in the center of our network. The farthest vessel away was probably the center line, I believe, and it was just a couple of miles away. And then, of course, the drilling rig where a lot of the operations were taking place and all the monitoring equipment was located was also part of the network. And then a satellite uplink to get us back to the home base at Tomball, Texas. So here is the installation on the drill ship. Pretty much blends in with everything else, but there's that arc wireless enclosure where the arrow is pointing. The damage from this event, and I'm sure these numbers have changed over time. This is the last set of numbers that I received from Dave Kendrick when he was still out on location, but the estimate was about 230,000 tons of oil. That's a lot of oil, which is about 40 million barrels of oil dumped out into the Gulf. And the cost so far is more than $10 billion for the cleanup. So in summary, the installation worked flawlessly. We delivered internet access, voice over IP, and all of the monitoring solutions that they needed for the well capping operation. It was completely finished in early September. Mr. Kendrick is back on land now, and he's glad to be off the boat. And that legacy thinking I told you about is gone. BJ was so impressed with the performance and the price point of this gear that they have asked Talladega to prepare a formal disaster recovery and business continuity plan for them, as well as to purchase all of the gear that they need to put into some kits. And these kits are going to be staged throughout the United States, and when they need to deploy to the scene of a cleanup or a major disaster like this, they've got a kit with all of their telecommunications gear ready to go. So therein lies my idea. Something you can take back, and if you make a lot of money off of it, I'll give you my PayPal address and you can send me some of it. So why not put together a solution for some of your customers? I mean, think about it for a moment. How many of you in your business have a business continuity plan written in place and ready to go? All right, I see a few hands. That's a good thing. All right. More importantly, how many of your customers have that or have even thought about it? Okay. Probably not too many. So it's an opportunity for you to branch into another market. You can always use the scare factor. That seems to work pretty well, you know. And put together a solution using the MikroTik gear. The price point is low. You can put together a few of the kits and have them ready. It's scalable. You know, 3 or 4 kits with a half a dozen clients and APs, and you could go out and deploy and get a customer out of a bad scenario. So that was pretty easy. Not a lot of technical stuff, just really an update of MikroTik in action. So any questions about this deployment? I'll bring the mic down there.
Well, one question, I guess specifically being 40 miles off coast, do you care what frequency you're using as far as license? I mean, is FCC or anybody going to regulate? I mean, you could have used 3.6, you could have used 4.9, couldn't you? Or are you kind of stuck with still using what we normally have?
I honest to goodness don't really know the answer to that question. I know that that there would probably be some frowns from management at BJ if we went out there and did something that you know, may not be legal within the continental United States, but yeah, I don't know the answer to that really.
I mean, I've been in disaster deals and they're kind of like, whatever it takes, you know, we don't care, we'll be illegal, we'll pay the fine, you know, whatever. You know, I've been in those deals before, and I thought in that case, hell, that'd be a perfect deal for it. But what were you using? You said your 900 megahertz. Were you using it in some sort of in kind of a turbo mode, or what were you, or is that just on just wide open 900 and that's it?
We were using the Ubiquity card and in G mode.
G mode, okay. I was wondering how you get the much voice over IP and everything across it.
Yeah, well, the voice over IP traffic was not significant. You know, the main thing was the ability to have clear spectrum, first of all, sure. But secondly, to have the ability to do the QoS. So when the network was being loaded, the calls were still working correctly.
Interesting.
Do you have any challenges with kind of the nuts and bolts of the installations, like cabling, power requirements, that sort of thing? Any lessons learned there?
Personally, I didn't, because I never had to go out there. I was doing all the support from, actually I was on my road trip at the time, so I was probably kicked back by the pool, but Dave Kendrick was out there, and he's been working on these boats so long that all of this was a piece of cake to him, because usually the way these operations go, they get the call to mobilize the boat, and he's got, 24 hours to get it ready to go out to sea. So, I'm sure there were a lot of challenges, but this guy knows how to deal with them. And again, using the integrated enclosures, there was no LMR to run. It was all just Cat5 and temporaried off onto the railing and that kind of thing. Anybody else? There's one back there.
In the communique, or in the MikroTik letter, I read that there was an emphasis made on low latency and 900 megahertz. And just could you just elaborate as to what you considered to be low latency, and what was its benefits and how it was implemented?
Well, yeah, in a DR scenario, the focus is on making it work. And so specifications and engineering concerns kind of go out the window. It's just get the network up, make sure that we can make a phone call, and let's be satisfied with that. In reality, we had the first deployment that David did. I don't remember exactly. Oh, I do remember. We were using transparent bridging using WDS, station WDS mode, and WDS on the APs. And he had monkeyed around with the first client and set it to station mode. And as everybody knows, and if you've been in my class, you remember that according to the standard, we can't bridge a device to Ethernet to wireless when it's in station mode. It will let you do it, but the results can be definitely inconsistent. So yeah, he was having some really long ping times, pings timing out, problems with connectivity. And so once we got it into station WDS mode, I do remember getting some pings back from him, and they were in the 3 to 5 millisecond range. So definitely acceptable. Anyone else? All right. Well, thank you for your attention. I also, let's give it up one time for MikroTik, for the mom. I think they did a great job. The food was great. The snacks were good. The hotel, I think, was good too. So thanks again for coming out.
Thank you very much, Steve, for you and for your second presentation. Phew. All right. Our hottest mom is almost over. And right now, we have the last exciting part. It's a raffle. But just before the raffle, we want to give a small gift for the best presentation. It was difficult for us to choose the best one, which was the most quality and so on. But at the end, after the discussion, we decided that the best presentation was given by Felix Wind. And I would like to invite Felix here. I have a gift for him. So I have a black box with the gifts. Okay, what we have here? Sorry?
Yes, I was going to buy one next week because I learned wireless.
But it's for free.
Even better.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Felix. So next time, For the presenters, it's a good opportunity. Make better presentation, make quality stuff, and you will get a router. Or maybe two. All right. Now, let's see how many credit cards do we have here? No credit cards, no IDs. Okay. I don't know. Maybe someone can help me. David, would you like? Come here. So, let's. Wow, I don't understand this language. Okay. Arash, Nadarpur. Okay. Hi, you're just together. Okay. So, this is a special gift from Europe, from Czech Republic, from Jaromir. Do you know Jaromir? Yeah. Yes. So, special thanks for Jaromir as well for giving us this nice gift. And you can share with David, yes, for today. Okay, thank you. Okay. Oh, no. It's not fair.
It's me.
Try again. No. But, okay. Please. Compensation. Jesus de la Vega Garcia. Router. Router board. 433. And 2 T-shirts. Oh, we have few more. Okay. Okay. Now it's not David. Norm Wentland. Okay, what do I have for you? So, Becherovka. It's very nice. And 2 T-shirts for you as well. Okay, maybe I will pick the last one. Okay, David allowed me to pick the last one, so maybe I will find David's second card. Okay. Oh, it's a Nick Chalice, the guy who made yesterday's presentation. We have a gift for you as well. So, especially from Czech Republic. Alcohol and 2 T-shirts from America. Thank you very much, David, for your prize. And just before I will go to our distributors raffle, I just want to say we were very happy to see all of you here. It was very nice to meet every one of you, to interact with you, to speak with you, to see that you are using our products, and it's amazing. Thank you very much. And for the raffle from our exhibitors, The first company will be Batch Evans Consulting. Batch Evans Consulting. Batch, yeah. Okay. So you allow me, yeah? Okay. Who won the prize?
It's Eric. I'm sorry, I can't see your Formiga. There we go. From NetWorld Internet Solutions. It's for a base quality of service system. I've got your email. It'll be in the email tonight. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Butch. The second company is Link Technologies. Hello, Dennis. I should start drawing, yeah? Okay. Okay. You want to use our cards, yeah?
Yeah. All right, we just got 4 LearnRouter OS books here.
For one person?
No, not for one person. And the very first one,
At least he has compensation.
Dr. David Lewis. There you go. Yep. He put a lot of his cards in there, apparently. I missed the first section about that, apparently. All right, Steve Zillis. Where are you, Steve? He's hiding in back. Here he comes. Did that blue light bug you? Yes, yes, I wanted you to have that. There you go. Congratulations.
I want to find mine. Business card. I'm just trying.
I've been trying to give him a book all week. He won't take it.
It's not mine. Okay.
Jeff Balda. Come on up here, Jeff. I think somebody in your organization has one or 2. He's going to buy dinner later. There you go. One more. One more. Holy cow. Michael Pluck. I'm sorry. Michael Pluck. I'm way off. Polk. Looks like Polk. Michael, how's that? Congratulations. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Link Technologies. Well, the third company is MikroTik Technologies. Yeah. Hello, Jeff. Would you like to use our cards as well, yeah?
Figured the enclosure would do double duty.
Smart. Okay. Me. Okay. He'll be my business idea. I know. Okay. Again.
Jeff Blada?
Jeff Balda. He is a lucky guy today. Okay, thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Microcom. Well, next is IT Elite, or IT Elite. Maybe I misspelled the company name. IT Elite. Ooh, IT Elite. Okay, IT Elite is, they are deciding what to give. Maybe they will prepare a very special prize. Okay, the next is Steve Disher. Steven? Oh. All right. Okay. Okay. Steve Disher and de facto wireless. Yeah.
One enclosure for MikroTik boards and a 493, which we're going to actually mail to you.
Email.
Mail, whatever.
Email Rotorboard.
Alpha Aleman Diallo.
Yeah. By the way, it will be very hard to email Rotorboard for because he is one of person who is from Africa here. Okay? Okay, it's fine. Any more? Okay.
Grand Avenue Broadband.
Grand Avenue Broadband. CD Tavares. Yeah. All right, thank you. Yeah. Elite. IT Elite, sorry.
We've got 2 antennas, 5 GHz, 21 dBi.
Okay, just speak.
Okay, all right. Juan Ruiz. And Don Gibart.
Thank you, IT Elite. All right, Brian from Baltic Networks. He's raffling some nice prizes. Correctly, Brian? Yeah.
I want to thank you all for coming out and seeing my presentation this morning. I have a couple of things here. I've got something called our TShirts product, which is a low-cost CPE based on the router board 711. So it's your perfect NB2 CPE client, as well as I have a UBTIC, which is our outdoor NEMA 4 box with a router board 411 in it, an R52 NM card that'll clip onto low-cost sector and dish antennas. So I'm going to give these two away, plus the hat. So the cards have already been kind of mixed up already. I'll let the draw here. And this is going to be for the TShirts. 360 Communications, Bob Fulgham, Jr. And for the UBTIC product, Giuliano Rustelli from iConnecta.
That saved me my money.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Baltic Networks, for nice prizes. This one and this one. The next company is RockNeck and Tom Harker, who, by the way, helped us to get these nice T-shirts. That's all you're wearing. Very nice colors this year. All right, Tom, you will use our cards, or you have.
Use your cards.
Okay.
I'm Tom from RockNeck. We're giving away a Rockbox 450G. It's a rack mount case. It's got a 450G in it. To some lucky person. How about that? Carol Tausek from Sys Datacom. Thank you for coming to the show.
They just agreed on some good deal. Thank you, RockNeck. Thank you, Tom. And the last company is Titan Wireless, who will... All right. Titan Wireless helped us to get this small, tiny Rotorboard 250GS. Thank you. Thank you for it. And they have their own box.
Hello, everyone. This is my first mom. It was a pretty good time. Nice to see everybody. A lot of faces I can finally match to the names I see on the email and voices I hear on the phone. Really was a lot of fun. I met most of you. Anybody I haven't, meet me after the show. We're gonna have some more fun tonight. Most of you already know about that this week. We are giving away a Toshiba mini netbook, and Sharina Stewart is going to pick the lucky winner. Brent Beatty, Bresco Broadband.
Thank you for coming. Thank you very much, Titan Wireless. So, that's about all. The raffle is over. Those one who didn't get the prize, maybe next year you will be more lucky with the prizes. And of course we will enjoy and we will be very happy to see you next year on our US Mom. Just don't ask me where it will be, we don't know. But yeah, but it was very nice in Phoenix. Thank you very much for coming again. Thank you, guys.